So, for some strange reason, I have a lot of male gendered haters who follow my channel for some strange reason because it's not a channel for men and it's not a channel about anything in particular. The channel is my name. So, how does anybody know to find this channel unless they know my name? I mean, it's just mind boggling. But a lot of these male trolls, let's call them that, make these comments about how what I'm saying in my videos is not physically possible. So one guy just said that smoke cannot possibly travel through walls. Oh, yes, it can. And he clearly never studied chemistry or physics. Um, so I just decided to, I have a degree in biological sciences and worked as a research scientist for 18 years, 13 of those years at Harvard Medical School. But I'm just going to go to Google here. And a lot of people have the same concerns that I do. A lot of people have neighbors who smoke, and a lot of people who don't smoke are concerned about secondhand smoke from other apartments in their multi-unit apartment building. So can smoke go through apartment walls? It can come through the walls, obviously, and out through a hole, an electrical outlet, even a crack in the wall. So I have two pieces of drywall and no insulation separating my kitchen sink from the bathroom directly behind it. It's literally two pieces of drywall with no insulation whatsoever. And I would know because there's been a construction done in my bathroom. It's just, there's no insulation. And also, Jorge, the former maintenance manager, I don't think he works here anymore, confirmed to me that the Greenville Group does not put any insulation between the two pieces of drywall that they use to separate one unit from the next. So if your neighbor is smoking, then you're smoking as well. And you can smell it right away. So, and there's a lot of people voicing concern about secondhand smoke from other apartments. My neighbor smoking, blah, blah, blah. It can come through a window that's even closed if it's, yeah. So, yes, of course it can go through walls, especially if it's a simple piece of drywall. Drywall does not keep out smoke. That's how people die of smoke inhalation. Even though there's a fire, on the other side of the building, smoke travels. And it also can come up through the plumbing, which is probably why I smell it so intensely over there. But that's also because there's constantly somebody in that bathroom. Even if the person in that bathroom is not smoking, they like to get disruptive by smacking the wall. Earlier this evening, they were dropping what sounded like heavy buckets directly behind my kitchen sink. So they're deliberately being disruptive. It's not even a question of, oh, is it possible for smoke to go through walls? Well, yes, it can. Smoke has tiny little particles, and even though drywall has tiny particles as well, it can go through drywall. That is my knowledge of physics and chemistry, and I have a degree in biological sciences. So, yeah. Oh, how do rentals know that you smoked? Yeah, there's a lot of concern out there about smoking in apartment buildings. I'm not the only one who's voicing concern about this topic. And according to this Google search result, smoke can go through walls. And that is my experience. It can go through walls. It can also go through plumbing. So smoke travels through plumbing. That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that, but apparently it can. So this guy right here made 4 comments in a row on the most recent video that I posted to YouTube, which was a few hours ago. And when somebody makes one comment and then another and then another and then another, they've got issues, right? I mean, I welcome comments if people are trying to be helpful or provide relevant information. And this guy did. I mean, he did say that, reboot, something about the phone needing to be rebooted. Well, yeah, obviously it needs to be rebooted, but there's something that is triggering that dysfunctional response in the phone. And the phone immediately started working again as soon as I used my other phone to call the Greenville Group, which was obviously the intended reason why it was suddenly malfunctioning as soon as I said I was going to call the Greenville Group with it, right? So the phone that you see right here, this one, is the one that wouldn't reboot for like 40 tries in a row in a prior video that I made a few hours ago. And that's the video that this guy is commenting on. And he's saying a lot of stuff, not all of which is correct. maybe he has some kind of a degree in electronics or something, but he does not have a degree in chemistry or in physics, I'm guessing, because if he did, he would realize that smoke can absolutely travel through the fibers of drywall. Drywall is not a solid matter. For instance, like if you have like a solid wood wall, that would be harder for smoke to travel through because wood is a lot more solid than drywall. Drywall is simply a bunch of fibers that are basically glued together. And so the tiny particles of smoke, smoke is a particulate matter, can easily travel through the fibers of drywall. I'm not sure why people don't think that smoke can travel through walls. It does depend on what the wall is made of. So if it's a concrete wall, smoke is going to have a hard time traveling through that, yes. But if it's a drywall with no insulation separating the two pieces of drywall and then a few 2x4s, then absolutely smoke can easily travel through that. That's why I smell it instantly. As soon as the nut job in 78 starts smoking like a fiend. The other thing that this guy said that is incorrect is, oh, well, if somebody was smoking that much, they would be hacking and coughing and you'd hear them. No, because if somebody smokes all the time, their system is used to that. Non-smokers start hacking and coughing when they're in the presence of intense amounts of smoke. And I've made dozens of videos where I'm coughing and hacking and trying to open my windows and open the door for ventilation because I'm the one hacking and coughing. I wasn't hacking and coughing this evening, but I frequently start coughing when there's intense amounts of smoke in this unit and I don't immediately go out into the hallway. So there's that. If the person smoking is a chronic smoker and drug user, as this person is, then they are so used to the smoke, it's not going to make them cough. It will make non-smokers around them cough, and it makes other people sick even from having to smell those odors all the time. The smell of cigar smoke is absolutely nauseating, and you can smell cigar smoke. I mean, it's intense and it's nasty, gritty stuff. So you don't need a lot of it for it to fill your living space with the smell and the fumes, and that is really nauseating stuff. So anyway, the other thing this guy said is the system is not rebooting. Well, obviously the system's not rebooting, but just because the system isn't rebooting doesn't mean that the cause isn't a hack. You can hack into someone's phone and make it do anything you want. So whoever was hacking into that phone was causing it to not reboot. That is a symptom, not a cause. The not rebooting is not the cause of the problem. The hacking is the cause of the problem. The not rebooting is the symptom of hacking. It's not the be all and end all of malfunctions on a phone. And again, this is the same phone right here that wasn't rebooting and now it's working perfectly fine. And it started working again just a few minutes after I made the video about how this phone right here had been hacked. All of a sudden it started working again.
Hi, I'm Jessica.
So, you know, that's a strange coincidence right there, right?
And I'm Sam, a virtual fitness expert.
So this is the phone that I was just making the video about, and now it's working just fine. And I didn't have to do anything weird to get it to work again. All I did was stop videoing this phone right here, use this phone that I'm making the video with to call the Greenville group. And as soon as I did that, then whatever was clenching up this phone right here to the point where it wasn't working suddenly unclenched, because I think that the hacker who keeps remotely disabling this phone right here didn't want me to call the Greenville group using this phone while I was making a video of the phone call. So then when I stopped videoing, called the Greenville group, this phone right here suddenly started to work again. So, you know, I'm just fact checking my own video and this person's responses to the video. I appreciate the tip on, you know, using the upward or downward volume button to reboot the system. I didn't have to do any of that. It miraculously started working again while I was in the process of calling the Greenville group on this phone right here, while this phone had been restarted 30 times and wouldn't reboot. All of a sudden it started up just fine. So, you know, I keep saying that the stupid cyber criminal who keeps remotely disabling this phone right here is proving everything I say. And yeah, she did, because as soon as I made a phone call with this phone started working again. And that's what I said in the video that I was making. I said, you know what? I bet she just doesn't want me to call the Greenville group and to film the phone call. And in order to, you know, prevent that from happening, she had to disable this phone. So I used this phone to make the phone call, and then this phone started working again. So there you go. I was right.